Algae. Who loves algae? Nobody loves algae. We hate algae in our planet aquariums. So how do we get rid of it? Well, the easiest way is to get rid of the excess nutrients in your aquarium. So that pretty much means to do frequent water changes, which you should be doing anyway. You want to get rid of all that stuff so that the algae doesn't grow. If you do have a planted tank and your plants haven't taken off yet, then more than likely between the plants and the algae, they'll be fighting for those nutrients. So if you do have a planted tank, what some people like to do is they like to boost their CO2 so that the plants could grow quicker. And once the plants have fully developed, they'll pretty much be combating that algae for you. Other ways are, of course, depending on the type of algae that you have. There are certain types of fish or invertebrates that you could include into your tank, such as I have here. I have several types of shrimps and some good algae eating fish such as Siamese algae eaters or autocinkless fish. They do a pretty good job of cleaning up. As you can see, I have no more algae in my tank. But the best solution, at least the solution that I've seen, is this gentleman right here. Well, not really a gentleman, but this solution, which most people probably have in their tank anyway, and this solution right here. That is a syringe filled with Flourish Excel. I found that my type of algae, which was growing on my hair grass, was some kind of clado algae type that none of my cleanup crew could even get at. None of them would touch it. So kind of defeats the purpose of doing, all these water changes and buying all these algae eating fish and invertebrates that wouldn't clean the algae that I got them for. But as soon as I bought some Flourish Excel, one step that I learned online was to pretty much, you could use a syringe. You could also use other methods, but I use the syringe method because I found that it's the perfect solution for injecting my tank with liquid CO2. Now what I do is basically, say I have a piece of algae, a big piece of algae. Maybe I just want to dose my tank, my new plant. I just go in there, spray that sucker. Spray that sucker good. And in a matter of a couple of days, I started noticing that all my algae problems were pretty much gone. That clado, I don't know what they call it, clado algae, the one that looks like seaweed, seaweed roll or whatever it's called. That stuff was smelly, it was thick, it seemed to only want to stick to my hair grass, and none of my fish, none of my shrimp, nothing else would pretty much go at it, and it was just growing and it was annoying the crap out of me. Some people like to use hydrogen peroxide. I heard that's a good method to get rid of algae, but the thing with hydrogen peroxide is if you do the same method as I do, um, there's a possibility that it could damage some of your plants. Hydrogen peroxide works pretty much quicker than my Excel method, but what I found with Excel versus hydrogen peroxide is that it's a natural substance for planted tank. So it not only helps your plants grow, it adds that extra CO2 boost in your tank, but if you target it directly, um, then pretty much, you're kind of helping your plants grow if you target it directly. As opposed to the other methods, which is kind of for the whole tank. Here you're spraying it on top of your algae, or you could also use it to add some fertilizer into your plants. So for example, if I had some fertilizer in my syringe, I could just go ahead and inject it under the gravel and squirt it. And what that normally does is it kind of acts like a root tab, where you're targeting the gravel itself so that the roots could grow within the gravel. So there's a lot of solutions for something so simple that you could pick up at your local drugstore. So try it out, see if it helps your algae. Let me know if it helps. All right, bye.